Fantasia. Much like Sleeping Beauty, this movie was also a flop when it first came out, but has since gone on to be a Disney masterpiece, with Sorcerer Mickey becoming an iconic look, and a Knight on Bald Mountain becoming a staple in Disneyland's Fantasmic show and a boss in the game Kingdom Hearts. So how did this movie go from being a failure to a classic as well? Let's take a look. Unlike how most movies have one main story, this movie tells a bunch of little stories through a combination of animation and music. A few of the segments that really stand out in this movie are The Sorcerer's Apprentice, A Knight on Bald Mountain, and my personal favorite, Ave Maria. Other segments include The Nutcracker and The Dance of the Hours. My least favorite scene in this movie is the Rite of Spring. My big problem with Rite of Spring is that it is long and it feels slow for the first half. It gets good once the dinosaurs come in, but the build up until then feels very tedious. Ave Maria is slow too, but the music is more soothing and plays well with the animation, so it doesn't feel as slow as Rite of Spring does. Deems Taylor did a great job as Masters of Ceremony in the film. Back in the 30s and 40s, Deems Taylor was considered one of the top music critics in the world and was a great help to Walt Disney while making the movie, because he also played another big part in the movie, and I'll get to that later. But first, let's take a look at the animation. The animation in this movie is very good and very diverse, with some trying to be more rounded and look 3D like Pinocchio, and other times it looks like medieval art and is more sharp like Sleeping Beauty. From an animation aspect, this was actually one of Walt Disney's most expensive movies, because instead of having one team and one art director, this movie had multiple teams of animators for every section of this movie. Walt Disney wanted to do it this way because since each section had a different art style, he wanted each team to focus specifically on that style and not get distracted by the others. He also wanted to experiment in different art styles as well and saw this as an opportunity to do that. It definitely worked as each section looks unique and amazing, especially for that time. The animation in this movie is superb, but you can't talk about Fantasia without addressing the music. While Walt Disney is famous for animation, he was also a huge fan of music. If you watch Walt Disney's silly symphonies such as Skeleton Dance, you can tell that he was huge on music. By the way, Skeleton Dance is awesome and I recommend you check it out. Link will be in the description below. However, Walt Disney himself was not a musician or a composer. So to help with the music, he turned to two people. Composer Leopold Stokowski, and as mentioned earlier, Deems Taylor. Stokowski was conductor and composer for the film, while Taylor acted as advisor and arranger. These two men really helped Disney make sure everything sounded good and was placed in the right segments. None of the music in this movie is original, but Stokowski did a great job of enhancing the songs with help from a 100-piece orchestra. As a result, the songs sound deep and big, giving us some very memorable music. Even though there is no plot like in most movies, this is still a very solid movie. Aside from Rite of Spring, all the segments are great and very enjoyable. The music works well with the animation, and the animation is very unique and very impressive, especially for that time. I own this movie on Blu-ray and I highly recommend you get it on Blu-ray as well. Thank you guys for watching this review. Let me know what you think of this movie in the comments section below. And if you like what you've seen and would like to see more, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell as well. See you next time.